Okay.
Come on, tell them about UFC 285, man.
This your joint.
Hey, man. That was one of the best week this past weekend. 285 was something. But if you guys remember, as we left last week, I threw that out there. That's what I was going to be inundated with last week was this UFC 285. There's the fight card, y'all. I threw that out there last week. I don't know what happened. Well, you can't really see it. But those are all my bets and all my picks. Take a look at, the big fight up there. Yeah, you see, gain, loss, or whatever up in there. Thank you, Rod. But that was a great fight card. This was a spectacular weekend. We had 2 championship fights that went down. And, boy, Rod, like I said, I don't know if you guys watched it. I know I saw on Twitter my phone was blowing up. All the John Jones fans were coming back out of the woodworks and everything. But it was a phenomenal weekend. I got some more stuff coming up that I definitely want to talk about in particular as it related, to this. And that was especially the Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko fight. Now, all those fights, guys, that was the best fight of the night. So one of the things, first of all, shout out to Alexa Grasso, first Mexican female to be a champion in UFC. So I thought that was dope as hell. Like I said, if you guys didn't get a chance to see that fight, you definitely need to go back and pull that up. Honestly, she almost had it in the earlier rounds with a choke, just missed it. But here's some of the previews I want to show you. There's the finishing move right there in the center, guys, and some of the highlights and just the exuberation from the position, excuse me, of how she had Valentina in that fight. But what I thought was more interesting and how deep that choke was, guys, look at her face. Look at Shevchenko's face. That's how tight Grasso had that choke in. She wasn't going home unless she won it. And yeah, even Jim Carrey thought that was pretty impressive because I thought she looked like the mask when she came up from that after that fight. But guys, this is what I wanted to talk about. The GOAT. Yeah, he's back. John Bones Jones is back in action. New heavyweight champion again. Great fight against Siraj Khan again, as you saw. I actually lost that bet. And people say, you bet against John Jones? Yeah, because you never know what John Jones you betting with. I mean, here's my tail of the tape with John Jones. You guys see that. The man literally has a rap sheet that if this was me, you, our next door neighbor, anybody else, we'd be serving time for some of the stuff he's done. So when John Jones fights, it's almost like when in the pay-per-view, you pay all this money, you're looking for a great fight, but then you get there and come to find out he was juicing or something. He gets his belt tight. Like when he, and you know what I'm saying? When he fought Cormier in there, come to find out, he got stripped of that because he got caught with cocaine, which they actually knew 30 days earlier. I mean, I'm going back in years on this, but y'all see his rap sheet. So for me, I can never truly get with John Jones as a true dedicated UFC fan as I have been for the past 20 some years, 25, almost 30 years since it's been around. You don't know what you're getting. You can't trust this guy. John Jones is the only champion in UFC that's been stripped of his belt twice. So after this fight this past Saturday, guys, I'm just waiting. What we got? 3 more days to go. It ain't been a week yet. So I'm waiting for, the United States anti-doping agency to come out and say, wait a minute, Siraj Khan, you might be the winner after all, because we don't know what John Jones has been doing. But I'm not going to take anything away from him. The guy is a beast. He's a killer. Take nothing away from him. I watched the fight. He got him. But again, I just can't trust him. But it leaves me with something for you guys to think about, man. Who's the dopest to do it?
Hold on,
These were actions. Yeah, who's the dopest to do it, guys? When you think about these two with their track records, these were the guys at the top of their sport.
I don't know. I go Ben Johnson.
They've been cheating. And that's how I feel about John Jones. That's why I don't spend money per se to see a John Jones fight, because I don't know what the aftermath is going to be. Did I pay money to see him, juiced up? And if you guys notice, I don't know if you watched the fight, but after that fight in post games, Daniel Cormier did not interview John Jones. Those guys don't get along whatsoever. And I know Cormier, he doesn't respect him either, because you don't know what fighter you getting. So even with Cyril Gahn, after that fight, he got choked so quick, Cyril's looking up and like, what just hit me? So that's my thing with UFC this week in particular. Congratulations again to John Bones Jones. You deserve it. But when it's all said and done, who's the dopest to do it? So I relate, John Jones to Lance Armstrong. I just can't trust him right now, guys. And that's my piece on the UFC for this week.
D had a question.
Yeah, go back to the one slide that you had. The one of John Jones standing there flexing.
With the rap sheet?
Yeah. So November 7, 2016. So Tadalafil, erectile dysfunction medicine, that's considered.
I saw that too.
Hold on, wait. Hey, guys, that's what he acknowledged that. So when they found that, he acknowledged, like, yeah, I was taking this erectile dysfunctional drug. So he acknowledged that. But if you look up in the previous history in his past from the cocaine charges and everything else, this is the same guy when he fought Cormier, they found out that he had cocaine in his system. And when I found not just cocaine, the main metabolite in cocaine. So in street words, that boy was on that pure. So
right.
He wasn't just messing around with nothing. This boy be doing it all. And get this, Dorian, do you guys know cocaine is not on the banned substance list in UFC? So it's prevalent in this sport. And so as long as you're not coked up or on drugs doing competition, you're okay. So that's one of the flaws in the sport too. So you can never trust this guy, but yet you see it there, man. A hit and run, domestic violence, more drugs, more anti-doping, stripped of this, stripped of that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was just referring to the fact that, speaking of what you said, so it's okay to take cocaine, but you can't take Viagra.
Allegedly, that's what he said he was taking.
Allegedly, yeah. Allegedly. Okay, yeah. So that's all. That's cool.
So why did he take that? Did he want to? Did he want to hit harder?
Look at Dooze.
Hey, man. We all know John Jones. We know his past, man. He liked to entertain the ladies at the club.
Dooze with the zinger. To fight UFC, man, you got to be high on something, man, because them guys are crazy.
Yeah, man.
Hey, but before we move on, one real quick thing. I got to give that lady right there credit, because she's the one that's had to endure John Jones and all his accolades and everything that he does. That's the actual, if you guys watched the fight, he gave a shout out to his daughter for her birthday. That's the mom of his kids right there. A lot of people don't know that. And so all these charges that he got, domestic violence, the whole thing with the stripper, hats off to her. If you can deal with that, put up with that. But then one more thing, New Mexico, the state of New Mexico, man, he did all this in New Mexico for the most part. He practically got away. He can get away with anything in New Mexico. So that again, it's like, I don't trust John Bone Jones yet until maybe his next fight, if he can go clear, no more doping allegations, not getting caught. And hey, it hasn't been a week yet, and we haven't heard anything about him getting caught in a strip club or getting caught with coke. So maybe he's on the final path to greatness again, guys.
Just tell him don't hang out with John, and he'll be all right.
Oh, there you go. John protecting with the pea shooter.
That's true. That's true.
No, I'd rather have Sean Kemp.